Michael Bennett. So overall, in Olympic boxing history against the U.S., Cuba has won 14 of 22 bouts. And now in this bantamweight semifinal, it will be Clarence Vinson of Washington, D.C., going up against Guillermo Rigondo, the 19-year-old out of Cuba. And the Cubans are in a tailspin. They have lost their last 5 bouts, 4 straight yesterday in the quarterfinals. And earlier, as you saw right here, it was light flyweight Micro Romero losing to the Frenchman Brahim Asloum in a 1-point victory. The Cuban coaching staff was very upset about the scoring. So 5 straight losses as Rigondo gets set to go against Vinson. Clarence Vinson, who comes off a very impressive victory to get to the semifinals, won an action-packed shootout against Oteanu Crinu of Romania, saving the day following losses that were suffered by Jeff Lacey and Michael Bennett.
I don't know if this is an omen, but the Cuban coaches had forgotten the mouthpiece of Rigondo, and they just had to go into the stands to get it.
Someone carrying a mouthpiece in the stands.
One of the people, obviously, from the team of the Cubans. Maybe an assistant coach.
Well, Rigondo with a scoring blow opening up with a combination.
Rigondo is southpaw, and that power lays in that backhand, the left hand. Very important that Vincent has a real good fight plan. Must not stay in that danger zone, which is right at the end of the power of Rigondo.
And as we discussed in Teddy's corner just a couple of minutes back, Rigondo, as we have seen during the Olympics, tends to hold and hit and usually is able to get away with it. And at times will steal the moment, even if he's the guy taking the shot.
Absolutely, Marv. Sometimes when he misses with a punch, whether it's a left hand or a right hand, he will turn. He will leave the glove out there, just as he just did. And he will turn his opponent's head or shoulder to turn him off balance. Get a little bit of an edge and make it look like he's done something bigger than he's done.
Caution for turning his back to his opponent.
Right now, Vincent is walking in with no jab, and he's allowing Rigondo to pick him up and get out. Vincent needs to start using his jab, having something coming back at Rigondo. Right now, Vincent is not sure about what he wants to do. He's not settled enough to have a real definite idea of exactly how he wants to attack Rigondo.
That's his first scoring point. You recall he got off to a slow start in his opening bout and then came on late. Trailing the Cuban here 4-1.
Vincent is one of the only fighters in this tournament that can match the Cuban Rigondo's hand speed.
Guillermo Rigondo, the youngest member on the Cuban squad at 19 years of age. Would like to eventually be a coach after his career is over. The advice from the assistant coach, Israel Acosta, telling Clarence Vincent he's got to get closer to Rigondo.
Some wide punches that are blocked by Vincent, thrown by Rigondo. And there's Rigondo doing what he does best. Getting punches off real quick and then stepping out. That is why Vincent must jab on his way in. Give Rigondo something to stay defensive about.
Evander Holyfield has been a regular during the course of the week.
Vincent must not stay in that danger zone. Must not stay at the end of the punches. Must not stay in that no-man's zone. Either to get all the way out or all the way in with the quick Rigondo and the powerful Rigondo.
Rigondo has been overpowering right through the 3 rounds of boxing. Quarterfinals, defeated his Turkish opponent 14-5. In fact, those are the first points he gave up in his 3 bouts. And to this point, Clarence Vinson with just 1 scoring blow. That's been it.
You wonder, not that it's not Rigondeaux doing what he's doing, because he's a real good fighter, a real solid fighter, but you wonder if it's not a little bit of an extra task for Vincent having to be in there with the Cuban after the Cubans have lost 5 straight. Maybe, just maybe, the judges are feeling a little pressure too, that the Cuban contingent is not too happy.
Although I think those are legitimate scoring blows we've seen.
Let's see what happens as we go on. But you're right. So far, it's been on the merit of what's happened in the ring. I would agree.
A warning sign.
Little warning sign. Kind of like when you go to the beach and they think the weather's going to get bad, the waves are going to start getting big. The lifeguards don't wait till the waves get big. They put a little warning out.
Another lesson in life from Teddy. Guillermo Rigondeaux with a 6-1 advantage, and Clarence Vinson just cannot solve it.
No, he does not right now have a definitive way of going about attacking Rigondeaux. He doesn't know for sure. It's mix and match right now for Vincent. It's rare bag. He's not sure exactly what it is he wants to do, and that's why he's reaching with those punches. Again, what he must not do, what the American Vincent must not do, is stay in no man's land. Stay out at the end of the punches of Rigondeaux. He's got to be all the way out, all the way in.
And not circling to his left as you suggested he should do.
No, he does not have a set game plan and fight plan right now. He is confused by Rigondeaux, Clarence Vincent. That is no man's land, stopping at the end of the punches of Rigondeaux. Right there. Vincent must not lay there. He allows Rigondeaux to have full extension on that backhand for the southpaw, the left hand. And Rigondeaux has power in that hand.
Okay, champ? We got 2 more rounds. We got 1 more minute to do everything you wanted to do. Okay? Stand up.
Clarence Vinson, a 2-time United States flyweight champion. With 2 more rounds, as Israel Acosta put it, the winner goes to the final to vie for the gold.
I believe Vincent must start. It's pretty obvious he has to start throwing leather and make things happen. I believe he needs to do it one of 2 ways. Either get inside, where he gets past that power zone of the Cuban, or get close enough where he can get his punches in, get his punches out. Get in, get out. Start using his speed. Right now, Vincent has been reduced to a 1-punch fighter. And that is not serving the speed of Clarence Vincent.
That was a trip.
Clarence Vincent is a speed fighter, Mark. Not a 1-punch fighter.
And he's not able to get close to the Cuban Rigondeaux.
I think he's showing a little too much respect for the track record of the Cuban. The reputation of the Cuban. The Cuban has been very, very impressive in this tournament.
5-point lead for Rigondeaux. And a caution against Vincent for a hold.
I think Vincent's a little intimidated.
That's a scoring punch and an 8 count. Clarence Vinson taking the count.
Mark, Vincent has thrown his punches from too far away. That usually shows you a guy who's just not confident to get close enough to let the punches go.
And Vinson is put down.
Staying at the end of the punches of Rigondeaux, the power zone, the danger zone.
That's the second 8 count. 3 in a round, and the bout is stopped. 4 in a bout, and it's all over.
And Vincent is coming straight in. He's going to continue getting hit left hand.
And the legs look wobbly. It's a 16-4 lead for Guillermo Redondo of Cuba.
You gotta hit this guy with everything that you got. Okay? Everything you gotta use this guy. You gotta use a split fight. Okay? With him. Got to use the extreme fight in this guy. Okay? Got it now? You gotta do everything.
Israel Acosta in the corner of Clarence Vinson says, got to be a street fight. Basically, he's saying you have to knock him out. There's no way.
And there's a little spin, a little turn by Redondo before knocked Clarence Vinson off balance. And there was the left hand by Redondo again. The left hand, Redondo, you could see Clarence Vinson was put down by a left hand for one reason. He was standing in the danger zone, in the power zone of the left-hander. Right there. Exactly what we talked about that Vinson must not do.
Cuba looking to put an end to a 5-bout losing streak. Fourth and final round. Redondo of Cuba in the blue. Vinson of the United States in the red.
Sometimes after you've been hurt, it can help you. What I mean by that, Mark, it's not just silly talk. What it means is now the nerves are gone. Now you don't worry about getting hit. You just go fight. That is the only hope Clarence Vinson has right now, catching up with this very talented Cuban fighter. But he's moving the wrong way. Clarence Vinson should be moving to his left, away from the power of the left hand of the Cuban. He's moving to his right, and he's coming straight into the power of the Cuban. Wrong way.
And Redondo being very careful, cautious, well aware that he has the big lead. He can kind of pick his spots. Vinson having difficulty reaching him, that right from the start.
Part of it's the style, but just watch, Mark. Watch how Vinson will throw from too far away. To me, my experience, and wide punches, that's the sign of a guy getting desperate. Guy hoping rather than believing. Guy who's not quite sure that he can commit himself. So he throws from a little too far away. Guy who might be a little too respectful.
Down to a half minute remaining in the bout.
When you're disciplined, when you're completely sure of yourself, you can work your way in close, even with a difficult style. As sketchy as Vinson's been in this tournament, he is not completely sure of himself with this Cuban, Redondo. That is why he's having trouble committing himself to the distance he needs to get into to throw.
And time is running out on Clarence Vinson. An overwhelming victory for Guillermo Redondo of Cuba that ends the 5-bout losing streak, and another American has been eliminated. 3 in the semifinals tomorrow, and that's it. They're down to 3.
Out of all the Cubans that the American Clarence Vinson could have faced at this point, in my estimation, he probably faced the most talented one, Redondo.
We talked right at the start about the comparisons that were made prior to the Olympic competitions of the 1976 team. Well, now, as it turns out, the U.S. has 3 remaining boxers in the semifinals tomorrow. And you look back at Atlanta, which was not considered to be a success story, but they captured 1 gold, and that was certainly a dramatic pullout of a loss by David Reed, and 5 bronze. So Guillermo Redondo of Cuba advances to the gold medal final as he convincingly defeats Clarence Vinson